Thank you so much for staying here. 6 o'clock. Great job. So, would you please stand up? Only for some seconds. Would you please look to this side and give your neighbor a massage on the shoulder now? Only 10 seconds. Okay? You deserved it, for sure. Come on, let's do it. Yeah, that's great. That's exactly. Let's not connect the choppers, let's connect the audience. And now, the other way around, please. Look at this side. Yeah. And give a nice massage. Are you smiling? It's good, alright? Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. You know, you're here for now for 8 hours, and now I'm the last in the line, so I have to motivate you a little bit. Thank you so much for staying, because at the very early morning, Alexander asked me to come at 8 o'clock. And so I was waiting for this 20 minutes, 25 minutes, a very long time. We had a lot of good presentations, very good speakers. Now I will talk about omni-channel strategy as on-off approach for rising profits. Sorry for this title. You know him? What's his name? Mr. Spock. Okay. And he likes you. Yeah. He's wishing you a good life and prosper, for sure. Now I want to check you.
This is an awareness test. How many passes does the team in white make? The answer is 13. But did you see the moonwalking bear?
Have you seen the bear before? Yes, really? Okay, hands up. Have you seen the bear before? Okay, 5% more or less. So we are talking about attention. And in the digital age, we measure everything. The views, the clicks, the shopping cart, for sure. But at least, if you're on a website, you're not always, let's say, focused on. Your attention is a very rare thing. And we have to fight for attention every second if you want to sell something. So in this case, the bear was walking through, and 95% of us missed the bear. The other thing is, you have the right choice.
Hab schon für Sie gewählt.
Willst du echt andere für dich wählen lassen? Bei der Wienwahl am 11. Oktober entscheidest du. Stimmen statt verstummen.
So if you have the choice, or if you have to vote, you have to go there, because otherwise the people vote for you. And that's exactly what we have to do by doing in the internet. We have to have awareness of the people and attention. On the other side, we have the right choice. So let's start. So my name is Heimo Hammer. My company is Kraftwerk. I like to play with oranges, you see it. And the hard facts of the company is founded in 1990. And we have one office in Serbia, in Niš. 12 developers are working for me in Niš. And let's talk about the orange right now. When I went to California in 1990, friends of mine were studying there, and they told me a story about a bird. The bird was internet, and I asked him, what the hell is the internet? And they told me, look, on the table there was an orange, like this, and they told me, look, you are on one point of this fruit, and in real time you can reach everyone in the world if the person is connected with the computer. And now we have the same thing with the smartphones. So the last mile to the customer is closed, to the connected shopper. So we as a company, we are a creative agency with digital focus, and we are going, say, times are passing, times are changing. The agencies are changing, and the customers are changing. We have seen a lot of these pics. That's a pic from the 80s and 90s. Now it's like this. Yeah? We are over-devised. And in the digital age, this was our very first website for a bank, for Raiffeisen. Do you know when? 93. It was one of the very first websites. It was before Google. But my problem was I was too early. I had no audience. In this case, I had to travel around Austria, and they visited 139 branches of a bank to tell the people what's it good for. So my problem is, if you have the technology but not the audience, there's a problem. And then the data highway brought a lot of good guys. Google. Today we had a very good presentation from Google. So what is Google for? Is it only search? What is Google for you? What would you say? What is Google for you? Is it search? Is it a data collector? Is it your helper? What is Google? Google is part of your life. Yeah, that's true. The second thing, Steve Jobs. So, what is his part of our life? What do you think? Steve Jobs. It's not like Apple. Everything now is available. Music, data, and shopping. He was, for me, the really inventor of the mobile stuff. And Mark Zuckerberg, today we had a very nice presentation about Facebook. And Zuckerberg, what is he doing? Is he really media? He is producing no content. No content. But he has millions of people on his websites. He's connecting people, he's connecting shoppers. He is more or less branding you. Because sometimes we think we are the agencies, we do the branding work. That's not true. Because if on Facebook they talk about you, that's the branding nowadays. And last but not least, what is he doing? Is he the killer of the small and medium-sized retailers? What is he? Jeff Bezos. Amazon Prime. You order now and you have it yesterday, you know? That's Amazon. Very quick, very fast. It's a logistic company, very good. But what is he doing? He is fulfilling all the things we want to buy right now. So, and now we're talking about the connected shopper. So one question to you. How many people are buying books online in Germany, Switzerland and Austria today, in a percentage? What do you think? 70? Really? You? 80? You? 30, 40? Okay, the truth is 17%. So that's the pretty truth for the German-speaking countries. Because in our mind, in our head, we have this 70, 80 and more percent. But the truth is, if you pay the bill, it's only 17% online. And first we thought, Jeff is really the one. So, one thing is, if you want to have connected shoppers, as let's say your loyal customers, the main rule is, you have to remember from my presentation days, don't make me think. That's the main thing. Because if customers start thinking about usability, technology, or benefits, you are lost. They will never come back. So you have one thing to mention, don't make me think, and everything is clear. The other thing is, connected shoppers in retail. They don't care where the store is. They want to shop now, but we don't know where now is. Now can be in a shop, can be at home, in the office, on the way to the office, everywhere. And in Austria, I'm coming from Austria, we have a customer, and the customer has more or less a map of his clients. And how is the customer thinking? The customer is thinking, these are my shoppers today. They are sitting at home having a good time. And for sure eating pizza and having fun. Or the boys are sitting at home and playing games. That's shopping today. That's not going to the store with the cart, putting the things in it. That's shopping today. And first of all, we have to talk about our customers. And today we heard a lot about big data, about all this data collection stuff, but I tell you something. We have a lot of data, but what do we do with the data? We have to know who they are, our customers, what they want and when, and where they buy. So, who is the company here? Please raise the hands up. Do you know everything about your customers now? No, okay. Do you have all the data now? Most. You're working on it. Okay. So, yes or no? Do you have all the data? No, okay. And if you have all the data, what would you do? That's great. That's great. She's a professional. We can change the position, come up here and tell us the story. This is theoretically absolutely right. But what the big companies are doing now is collecting data, doing a lot of analysis with their data scientists, and afterwards they have all the data, and then, more or less, they build up a strategy. Data-based strategy. Is it the right way to do it? A data-based marketing? A data-based customer satisfaction? I don't know. Because consumer behavior is changing all over the world. Now we are collecting data today in every single market. We know a lot. We have CRM, we have social media, we have the websites, we have tracking, we have targeting, and so on. But the digital homo economicus is a very smart shopper. He knows sometimes more than your employees. Because if a shopper is coming to your POS, and for instance the shopper wants to buy a mountain bike, the shopper knows a lot about this mountain bike. And sometimes we are suffering because the people working for you on the POS are under pressure, because the shopper is very well informed. He knows about the product, he knows about the price, he knows about the usage, he knows about everything. So, what are you doing on the POS? You are losing control, because the shopper is better than your staff. So, what is your recipe or your strategy on the POS? Do you have an answer for this? Yeah? The main thing is, if you want to be smart and successful, you have to give all the skills you can give to your employees. Because it doesn't matter the channel. If the people are calling you, or the people on your website, or if you're having a chat, or social media, or whatever, it's the competence of your staff. That counts. Not only the clicks. We're talking about people. And people have to convince people for sure. And the so-called user-centered approach, it's easy to say, but very hard to achieve. So, in this case, it's in German, sorry for that, we have in the center the user, or the customer, and the need, and the competence of the consulting of your employees, and then the products and the solutions. And in this case, the gap and the lack is the competence of your staff. Because we heard it today that 90% are searching online and buying offline. So, in this case, the people want to check the product, they need advice. So they talk to you physically, they are in your store, and then that's your point to make the deal. The other thing is, if you talk about touchpoints, Robert had a very good presentation about the analytical stuff. We are in a universe of digital touchpoints now. Thousands of it, from your competitors on the market, different brands, all over the world. Because if you want to shop today, we are living in an orange world. You can buy wherever you want. If the product is available in the States, you can buy it there. And in this case, we have websites, mobile apps, display ads, and so on, all this stuff. And our main goal is the conversion. To bring the people to my shop, to my POS, to make them buy. So, and if you talk about lessons learned, one customer of mine is a very famous bank in Austria, and the strategy failed. Why? They have on the left side the pyramid of the bank. They have 800 branches, and then the country branches, and then the top institute. And on the right side, they have the touch points, the sales funnel, and then at least the customer. Why was this the wrong approach? Why was this the wrong approach? Because I saw today a lot of presentations, a lot of strategy input, but I'm now talking about my failure, about my mistakes. Because in this case, I can learn a lot. The main problem was that the left side dominated the communication, dominated the sales. We are very far away from the need from the customer. We are waiting in the branches, we are waiting there, hoping that the customer will come. And then we turn to the other way around, and then we try to catch them at the touch points, at the digital ones. And then the inner system of the bank failed. The new business case here failed completely. We have 700,000 people on the website per day. 150,000 new customers, potential new customers. So, and now, what is the conversion rate from this bank? 0.3%. The return on internet is negative, definitely. So what was the wrong strategy? The wrong strategy was you have a structure for physical retail banking and you copy it to the internet and you're using some touch points more or less to walk around and to cheat a little bit. This will never ever work. If you have a digital strategy, copying your physical one, you will fail. In this case, clear strategy and optimizing touch points is the key. And if you talk about the budgets from banks, from retailers and so on, sometimes they tell me, you know, my online shop is my more or less one branch. That's my digital shop. It's only one of my 100, 200, 300. That's wrong. The one digital shop is your 365 days a year, 24 hours shop where you can sell and buy stuff. That's the main thing. And if you put one store, a digital store, on the side of the other stores, that's not a strategy. It's only more or less cheating a little bit, but try to survive. Because the cost pressure is coming. And then retail is not retail, because many of us are looking at cases and try to copy it. Because you see all these examples from the States, from England, and all over the world. Yeah, they are wonderful banks, wonderful retailers, they are booming, it's great stuff. But we are here in Serbia. And Serbia is in this case a little bit different. Because today I met a lot of experts, a lot of expertise, really nice people here. But if you travel to Niš, the world there is different. Because if you ask people in Niš, do you want to buy something with your mobile phone? In the bakery, in the fashion shop, in the bookstore, they will look at you, what the hell are you doing? What do you want? I give you the book right now. Yeah, but that's the truth. That's the truth. So, in this case, the transformation process in Serbia is going on. We are not in Hollywood, we are in Serbia. Yeah? And to be honest, you are in a very good way. Because when I founded my company 6 years ago, I went to Belgrade and I walked around a little bit, I watched TV, I checked the stores there, and there is a lot of improvement here in Belgrade. Really good. So I think Serbia will take more or less, and that's the truth, for advertising and for digital agencies, 1, 2, 3 years to have the boom in the country. Because one thing is quite clear, you need money to buy something, yeah? And you need companies to offer something in the digital way. And that's the truth. You will see afterwards about the Price-Waterhouse study. The Price-Waterhouse study, do you know this? Have you read this study? It's a study launched last year, and it's very interesting because Serbia is not part of the study, but I think nearly all OECD countries are in it, and they are focusing on developed countries, non-developed countries, emerging markets. And there are more or less some points in it, and the funny point is that these 8 points here, to understand future shopping behavior, look to China. That's really interesting. So if you look to China, you will learn a lot. Because in China, 90.6% of the daily shoppers shop mobile. And what in China happens now will come to Europe in 1 or 2 years, and to Serbia as well. So in this case, the mobile shopping is coming to us. The connected shopper is mobile. And in comparison, you look at the global approach here, we have an average in these countries 7.1% from the digital turnover worldwide. And here, that's the normal question, where do you research about the product in the different fields of retail industries? Consumer electronics, households, clothing, or books, or sports, or equipment, and so on. And you see, the people are searching a lot digital. And now comes the truth. They are shopping in the store. Yeah? But this is not the end of it. In this case, they asked the CEOs of these companies, because that's not a consumer study, that's a CEO study. And the CEOs said that in 5 years, this will never ever be the situation. The situation will be that the online part will be at 80% of shopping. So it depends for sure on the industry. So your mark for the books with 70-80% will become true in the next 2 or 3 years. So let's go to some best practice examples. We have done a lot of digital projects in the last years, 2,500, and I've made a lot of mistakes, failures, misinterpretations, and so on. And now some things are really flipping and turning around. First of all, don't make a thing, that's the main sentence of the day. And we go to the first perfect user journey. You know this bank, UniCredit? The bank is also in Serbia. And you see, there is this entrance to the online banking. They have 2.1 million customers in Austria. And all these customers are going to this right thing there to log in. That's the stuff. And our question was, what can we do to promote more ideas, to promote more things? And that is our storytelling user journey. So we have 2 things. We have the content marketing approach and the online advertising. In the content marketing approach, we try to give the people the right information at the right place and so on. And so we have this Bank Austria website, we have these landing pages and all the stuff that people are looking for. And the online advertising is more or less targeted in the groups. So if you break it down in more or less information and service and conversion, we learned a lot about very long user journeys. Because it's not the way I get the information and the service and I buy. I come to the website 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, I'm surfing around, I see something, I have a lot of touch points, no decision. And suddenly, if I have this conversion from the landing page or from the online shop, the people start to buy. But what is the main thing of all this stuff? Is it content? Is it the product? The product in the banking industry are more or less the same. Because if you go to one bank, the loan is the same at the other bank. So why they are buying here? What is the question? Why they are buying here? What do you think? New customers, not existing ones. Why do they buy at the bank Austria UniCredit?
Because of storytelling.
Exactly. Exactly. It takes a time to convince them. And in this, we have dashboard seen, very good presentation before from Robert. We use this Gecko dashboard. It's more sexier. We have all these channels as well. But in this case, we are talking about content. And in content, it's about SEO. And SEO means to be found. And in this case, a lot of people are looking for solutions, and they find UniCredit Austria. So, now we come to the next customer.
Wer jetzt Gold hat, ist mit Sicherheit glücklich. Kaufen Sie beim Testsieger Filoro Edelmetalle.
Last year, you know the story about the Brexit. In the German-speaking market, the people were afraid. What will happen with my money, with my shares? You know, the Germans like their money. And so we launched a shop, and the shop was for sure targeting, retargeting all that stuff. And there is one very nice thing on the website. It's this test winner stuff. There's a lot of trust in this stuff if you are a test winner, because the people trust you when they see this. And what was the result of this campaign? I close it. We invested 65,444 euro. And in this campaign, we had 501,000 direct sales, and we boosted the turnover in the 60 days about 140%, 11.29 million euro. What was the secret? Was it service? Was it information? What was it? The trigger was the Brexit. Because the people, seeing the ad, being afraid of the Brexit, decided to change the investment. Sometimes you have to convince the people about the situation, about the crisis. And so they got a lot of money. This is a very normal user journey, but optimized. We saw it before. We have this context CDN banners for online leasing. We have GDN banner for the brands of the month. We have this Google search AdWords. We have this retargeting stuff, and at least the retargeting from the sales. And that's, let's say, that's quite normal. And so we offered this because that's a website from Austria. You can look for cars. Here you have this online calculator, and later on you go to the website and you close it. So what's special? I think nothing. But why is this website so successful? What do you think? If you look at this user journey, it's quite normal. Sorry, I know it's 6:30 and you're waiting for the party, but I want to get feedback from your side. It's quite a normal user journey. They fulfill the need, yes. What else? All in one place, exactly. 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 What shall I say? You experts. Yeah. And I will skip these two things, and I will show you one of my favorite projects now. We will launch this next month in Austria and in Germany. It's about MySam. MySam is a shoppable magazine where you can connect something with something else, and you will see it right now. Can you? Otherwise I show it. So it's pretty simple, or? You have the leaflet, smartphone, you catch it, it's easy. But our solution is, you have the product at home, the product is a random situation, you scan the product and you buy it in the shop. Thank you so much and feel good.